Hello, this is Dr. Rhonda Farrell bringing you week 36 of Cyber Resiliency 2025. Our theme today is cyber physical convergence in smart cities, defending streets, grids, and clouds as one system. This mission-oriented series is where we take complex city-scale risk and turn it into repeatable, teachable defense. Last week, we tackled compound attacks that braided supply chain compromise with disinformation. This week, we go one layer deep in that smart cities, where a glitch in the cloud can slow an ambulance at the curb, and a misconfigured controller in a plant can ripple into citizen panic online. You're going to leave with a fusion book, drills, and metrics to operate cyber, physical, and cloud defenses as one mission system. That's my promise to you today as the founder of Cstgia, bringing you again week 36 of Cyber Resiliency 2025. So why now? Well, because we need to raise the stakes. Attacks travel across layers. Poisoned updates, bogus alerts, manipulated models, moving from SaaS to SCADA to streets in minutes. Speed is greater than elegance. Convergence is less than perfect architecture and more about aligned decisioning under time pressure. And public trust is operational. In cities, the story that people actually believe is as consequential as the system, what the devices actually do. So again, that's the trust factor, huge with regard to how we're communicating, how we're planning, and how we're gaining citizen engagement. So what does cyber physical conversion actually mean in plain language? Well, there are things called mission threads that move people, deliver water, stabilize the grid, and keep hospitals open. But if we look at all of the elements they contain, they are composed of edge and field items like sensors, programmable logic controllers, vehicles. Then there are elements such as sites, which are plants and hospitals and stations. Then we have a cloud and core elements. That's going to be our applications, our AI models, and our data lakes. And finally, we're going to have our people and partners elements. Those are operators, contractors, and citizens. Most incidents escalate at the handoffs. So we need to design our security architecture to help bolster assurances at those intersections and reduce the risk. Again, that's between edge and field and sites, cloud and core, and then people and partners. So the city fusion model really helps to elevate your security operations center, because a classic SOC cannot carry this alone anymore. We need to stand up a cyber fusion center, virtual or physical, where cyber operations, physical security, compliance, legal, communications, and executive duty officers make shared decisions from the same picture. So we can think of this as what is the minimal viable fusion elements that we need? Well, we need to typically look at one shared mission view per thread. What are the assets, identities, data flows, and the owners relating to that? Do we have can we create a 2-lane runbook that contains the technical aspects of the identification, preventative, and or response, and the business narrative that is the why we're doing what we're doing? There needs to be a decision canvas that records who decided what, when, and why. And then there needs to be automations put in place for the first 5 minutes of any incident. First to contain, second to verify, and 3 to notify. So what are the 10 plays for this cyber physical convergent? You can use this like a kit or a playbook if you wish. Play 1, mission thread mapping, street to the cloud. Choose one flow that either saves lives or saves money, like a priority vehicle right-of-way. Map your assets, your identities, your dependencies, your telemetry, and your decision points end to end on one page. Name your owners at each hop. Play 2, create a 2-lane runbook, the technical aspects and the narrative, because every incident ultimately runs in these 2 lanes. On the technical side, you need to contain, verify, recover, and harden. And on the narrative side, you need to communicate, clarify, reassure, and debrief. You're going to need owners, timings, and approval paths that are explicit in this area. Play 3, software bill of materials, or SBOM plus for code, models, and the edge, because we need to extend our software bill of materials to include model cards, training data lineage, and sensor provenance. We can require signed builds and attestations or attested configurations for field controllers and gateways. Play 4, deception at the edge. We want to see decoy controllers, credentials, and APIs that mimic your high-value edge assets. Why? Because any touch with those decoys is a high confidence alert with an auto route towards containment. Play 5, real-time agreements, 2 pages per partner pair, i.e. cyber and your water operations operators. It needs to be we promise and we need. What are the response time? Service level objectives, what is the escalation path, what's automated, what's human approved, etc. Play 6, identity and least privilege for field reality, short-lived credentials for technicians, per task entitlements, offline fallback for safety, rotation of service keys, and tagging any shared accounts for elimination. Play 7, telemetry in 4 planes. Collect and correlate the user, what's the who, the control, the policy or configuration, the data, the flow elements, and the signal, your device or plant metrics. Alert on cross-plane anomalies, i.e. configuration changes, plus a pressure spike. Play 8, human AI teaming guardrails. Again, green, yellow, no fly works best in zones. So drafting, AI-enabled drafting and triage to some level, green, can help you automate in this the best way that will take limited human oversight and review. High stake actions, yellow, may require 1 or more humans to review. Definitely not full end-to-end automations. And then again, in the ethics, legal, or safety area, that's a no-fly. These can only be, they can be the framework and or the policy and or the RVTM or the controls and the compliance alignment can definitely be AI generated, but the actual operations from an ethics, legal, or safety component can only have the human in the loop being the primary approver and operator. Play 9, continuity by design. manual fallbacks. So document your safe mode operations if and when automation fails. Manual signal timing, paper dosing logs, ambulance radio reroutes, drill them quarterly. Play 10, secure by design procurement. Bake SBOM Plus, identity, logging, patchability, and support service level agreement into your contracts, your RFPs, RFPs, and ultimately your contracts. A device without testable lineage or remote patching plan shouldn't be able to enter the city. A maturity ladder, know where you are and make it your priority to always want to be moving up one rung. So level 1 is siloed response. Each agency acts alone, and ultimately there's a communications lag in your operations. Level 2 is coordinated calls, a shared bridge during incidents, although there may be ad hoc playbooks. Level 3, a fusion rhythm is beginning. Maybe you have your 2-lane run books. Maybe you have your RTAs. Maybe you have your monthly drills. Maybe you have your decision canvas. Level 4, automated first 5. Decoys, sign configs, cross-plane alerts, and public messages templated. Level 5, a learning city in action. After action alteration of your configs, updated contracts, and training via plan and baked into your op tempo. So your target is to move one mission thread from level 2 to level 3 this quarter. If you're at level 1, then and it's a highly risky area, we advise that you go for that first. And then go from your level 2 to level 3 as broad as you can. Case vignettes, you can use these to teach within your organization. Vignette A, signal to shelter, botnet noise, and spoofed substation video. Deception traps the actor hitting a decoy signal controller. SBOM Plus validates the firmware, and the communication lane issues a signed update. Intersections are retimed for emergency vehicles. Outcomes are slowdowns, not outages. Vignette B, water models and misinformation. A model that forecasts chlorine dosing is tampered with. Social posts claim contamination, but a model card and data lineage flags ultimately drift, and a plant reverts to manual dosing. The communication lane publishes transparent test-back results. Outcome, service continuity, and rumor ultimately collapsed. Vignette C, ambulances versus application outages. A cloud dispatch application stutters during heat stress. Mission card triggers radio fallback. 911 publishes a yellow status with a reroute guidance. And cyber isolates a noisy API. Outcomes, no missed criticality incidents, post-incident contract update on vendor, service level objectives. So metrics that matter. We want to lead with the mission. So what are our mission level KPIs? Well, that's our mean time to recovery thread, time to restoration, our time to restore the mission thread, not just a device, but the entire end-to-end flow. Decision velocity, the median time from triage to documented decision on the canvas. Cross-lane latency, the gap between containment and public notification. cross-lane latency, deception fidelity, the percentage of hostile touches that hit decoys first, and fusion coverage, the percentage of priority assets and agencies mapped with RTAs. So here's a few sector pulse examples. Transport, you can measure on-time percentages during incidents or near miss rates at critical intersections. In the water area, the time in compliant range during events and the manual fallback readiness scores. In the energy area, the load shedding accuracy versus the plan and the protection relay false trip rate. And lastly, in the health area, diversion hours, EHR downtime, and survival playbook drill scores. So next we need to look at operating mechanisms and how to make our infrastructure self-healing. So first we need to do a fusion stand-up for 15 minutes every day. What were our overnight anomalies? What is today's planned work? And what are the major risks we are looking to remediate? Followed by a pulse and nudge, weekly 3-question adoption pulse. Auto nudge the owners where coverage is thin to get adoption and maturation and activity. Sunset gate. Look at the playbooks that have been unused in 90 days. Either archive them or fix them. No zombie procedures. And lastly, the culture debt ledger. List behaviors that slow responses, i.e. multi-owner tickets, and pay one down per sprint. So drills that you can run this month. Drill 1, the 2-lane tabletop. The scenario is an edge device compromised and a misinformation spike. The tech lane, you need to isolate, attest, and restore. In the narrative lane, you need to approve and publish and put in place countermeasures, or artifacts, or updated run book, or communications templates, and our 2 configuration changes or innovations that we've created. Drill 2 is a decoy touch. Trigger a controlled alert from a deception asset. Validate the routing and the containment timer. Put in place the decision canvas entry and ensure that there is external notice. Drill 3, manual fallback. Practice paper logs, radio commands, and manual timing. Capture the bottlenecks and assign owners to remediate those risks. RTA live fire. Pick one real-time agreement. Simulate an escalation. Did both sides meet the service level objective? If not, fix the gaps. So what do we need to support these? Well, a set of templates can help. We have a mission card that will help define and boundarize the end-to-end flow. So again, a major thread, i.e. priority vehicles right-of-way. Our goal metric, i.e. sub 4-minute corridor clearance. Our assets and our owners at the edge, at the site, and in the cloud. Our identities and privileges for our humans, our services, our other devices. Telemetry, user control data and signal. Decisions and thresholds. Bold, safe, stand still. Fallbacks, what are our manual steps in our communication channels? And lastly, our contexts within cyber operations, communications, and our executive duty officer. We also need to create a real-time agreement template with our we promise, we need, your top 3 for each. Your response time, service level objectives, and a 24/7 escalation path. You need to understand what's automated versus what is human approved, and what is your drill cadence review date, and most of all, your signatures. Number 3, decision canvas. Incident ID, time, lane. Is it tech or narrative? And your zone, green, yellow, no fly. Second, your options that are being considered, bold, safe, standstill. Third, decision, decider, rationale, next checkpoint. Last, outcome and lesson, filled in during your post-event postmortem, so that you can gather your lessons learned and iterate and innovate forward. Your narrative ladder for your communications. Tier 0 is your routine updates. Tier 1 is your service advisories. Tier 2 is your service impact with appropriate guidance. And Tier 3 is your emergency directives and cross-agency chorus. So people and role, what does it take to be able to put the Cyber Fusion Center together? Well, you need a sponsor, city executives who remove blockers and fund fixes. You need a fusion lead who runs the floor and accountable for mission, mean time to recovery. You need cyber duty officers who are responsible for triage and containment. You need an ops duty officer per sector for safe mode and restoration. You need a communications lead that has the narrative lane, the approvals, and the citizen can offer citizen guidance. You have the data and AI steward that handles model lineage, drift watch, and attestation. And last, you have the recorder, the decision canvas, the timings, and the after action reports. So what are anti-patterns and some potential fixes? Well, again, you want to be mindful of playbook theater. Documents exist, but no drills. So you need to schedule monthly drills and auto-expire stale plays. Ownerless incidents. Well, you may have many helpers, but no decider. So you need to name the decision maker by lane and publish that roster. You may have shadow automation, unapproved scripts in the plant that you need to catalog and sign those configurations and kill any unattested jobs that are running. Communication lag operations. Rumors sometimes often outrun the facts. So use a 2-lane run book and use the narrative ladder with pre-approved phases to ensure your reputation and transparency and to build trust. Then vendor blindness, black box devices to procurement guardrails, SBOM plus, telemetry, and patch service level agreements. Then you need the 30, 60, 90 rule rollout plan. Who moves first? Again, days 1 through 30, ignite. Pick one mission thread, build the mission card. Draft the 2-lane run book. Agree on your RTA with the lead operator. Deploy one deception asset, wire alerts to the fusion floor, and run drill 1, your 2-lane. Capture 3 fixes. Days 31 through 60, stabilize, add SBOM plus, code, models, and edge for the thread. Start on your signed configurations. Run drill 2, your decoy touch, and drill 3, your manual fallback. Launch weekly pulse and nudges. Publish your fusion scorecard. Lastly, days 61 through 90, you're looking to scale. Expand it to 2 more mission threads, i.e. water quality, hospital diversion, etc. Formalize your fusion governance and monthly narrative drills. Enforce your sunset gate. Retire your stale plays and close your top culture debt items. Lastly, this week's challenge, because we want you to make it real, map one thread end to end. Name owners at each hop. Publish a 2-lane run book with your first 5-minute automations. Seed 1 decoy at the age and verify alert routing. Run a 15x5 decision sprint with fusion stakeholders and log the call. Lastly, share a 3-bullet after action with your peers and schedule your next drill. Again, cyber physical convergence is where the mission is won or lost. Fuse teams, speed up decisions, deceive adversaries at the edge, and defend your story as rigorously as your systems. Build trust, make it transparent, and save your reputation. Do this and you'll keep your organizational unit, city, etc., moving forward across streets, grids, and clouds when it matters most. Again, this is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the founder of Cstgia, bringing you week 36 of Cyber Resiliency 2025. We wind down cyber physical convergence in smart cities, defending streets, grids, and clouds as one system.